Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to another recording session of Hearthstone. I guess it's not as bad as starting recording at 10 or 11 in the evening. It's only 5:30 right now, but man, is there very little to talk about today. So we're gonna try and burn through all this. Let's trade this. Battle cry cards and then 3 victories with rogue should win all the quests. And then let's look at the Tavern Brawl. I think that's new. No. Tavern Brawl hasn't even changed, which is strange. Which means I might be able to do an arena run here. Can we do a rogue arena run? Yeah.
Never see it coming.
So let's do it. The good news is, as far as budgeting, we kind of know now what we're gonna do. Since there's only 3 expansions coming out for Hearthstone this year, and that's gonna be 3 times throughout the year that I'm gonna spend 5,000 gold if I have it. Let's see, who do I want? Each player draws. If you're holding a dragon, destroy an enemy minion with 3 or less attack. We'll see if we can do a dragon deck. I definitely want this one. Turn a minion to full health whenever a minion dies. Gain 1 attack. Battlecry, if you're holding a dragon, get +1/+1. Let's just keep going down this path. Adjacent minions, that will help. This one I imagine is what we want. Costs 2 less if the opponent has at least 3 minions. Summon 2 copies of this minion for battle cry. Nope, I don't think so. We'll take Abominable Lord. Then destroy a minion damaged by this minion. Stealth or charge. I'll take charge. Taunt. Deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. Or Wind Fury. I'll take Wind Fury, Charge, Taunt, or Battle Cry. I'll take Battle Cry. Let's see if we can just get everything done here. Play the fans. If you have a pirate at the end of your turn, deal 1 damage to this minion, deal 1/1 imp. I don't know which one is better here. I think this is probably the best of those 3 options. 50% chance to hit the wrong one, or 2 more mana to do 3 damage. I think 2 mana to do 3 damage is better. Plus it's a battle cry. We'll take this Murloc. We'll take this Assassinate. Well, whenever your opponent casts the spell, gain +2 attack. That's too random for me. So I'll take a Taunt. Vanish to return everything to the hand. If your opponent hand is empty, gain charge. Death Rattle. Pirated Shredder. Pirated Shredder used to be a really loved card, and I don't think it's really changed. So we'll keep playing it. Gang Up. Or Silverhand Recruit, or give a friendly minion +2 attack. I guess we'll do that. And then let's go ahead and do this. And maybe do something like Shadow Step. It gives us another option. Head Crack. Or I guess we'll take that. Then another Battle Cry. We got a lot of Murlocs going on here for a non-Murloc deck. Battle Cry, gain +1/+1, or gain 4 health. I'll take this one. Poison Blade. Your hero power gives this weapon +1 attack instead of replacing it. Whenever this attacks a minion, gains stealth. Gain health for each enemy minions. I'll take that. Then we'll take this. If you're holding a dragon, discover a dragon. We have a couple dragons in our deck, but not enough, so I'll pick that one instead. And then I'll take this battle cry heal, and then max cost 1 less, maybe. If you're holding a dragon, deal 2 damage. Which would I prefer? Let's go with this. And let's move forward. If yours is more, get +1/+1 or death rattle. I'll take this one. And we're almost there. 3 more cards to pick. Give your Murlocs +2 health. Destroy a random enemy with 2 or less attack. Next time you use your hero power, it costs 2 less. Interesting. That's probably worth it once. Deal 3 to the enemy hero, or have a 9 that does 4 damage. Let's take a big ticket character, just because that would be helpful too. And then we'll do that. So pretty much like all the arena runs I do, it's I look at the cards I built and I think to myself, well, it's not great, but it's not awful too. So I kind of tried to delay. You can now easily see it's 5:30 in the evening. That I tried to delay recording this, and mostly I'm probably just wasting my time. Got that Humble PC Lovers bundle. It is worth it to get like PC Mark and whatever the other like versions of that game, that program is, to just test my computer and get statistics, although the demo pretty much does the same thing for free. I figured I'd just have it. And then Daemon Tools Pro is probably useful at some point, and ESUS Partition Manager is probably useful at some point. I've used it in the past to save some hard drives, but so getting new versions of software is cool for $14. That's not terrible. I want to run the VR Mark, but I wouldn't be surprised if it just tells me you don't have a VR headset, so you can't even run it, which is fine. But that Humble Bundle also came with a lot of garbage, like a password manager for 1 year, then you have to pay for the rest the next year, $40 on average. Minimum. Maybe they'll give you a returning customer discount when your year comes close to running out, but I kind of think that's ridiculous to have to pay. Your Hearthstone deck tracker has just crashed. Well, bye-bye to that. And then what else? There's 6 months of a Backblaze backup, which, oh great. Your computer will be backed up for 6 months. If it happens to be the 6 months in which your computer decides to explode and you need to recover, that's great. If it doesn't, I assume they're just going to delete your files, or and that I wouldn't be surprised if that's $30 a year or more. Also, several other programs that I really had no use for. So, not programs that I'm gonna give away in Christmas either. So, it doesn't even really help my channel. In fact, I looked at the list of things that I have set up for Christmas as far as extra copies of games, extra Steam keys. And since a lot of these weren't Steam keys because they were PC software, they expired, and therefore there's just nothing I can really do with them. I could do a taunt here, and then get a weapon out.
Here you go. Stop poking.
Battle cry: if you're holding a dragon, destroy an enemy with 3 or less attack. I'd have to be holding a dragon. Plus I have to wait till 6th turn to play that anyways. This was not a good card to pick. But for $14 I would have probably paid the same amount, even even at a 50% or 75% off sale on the few programs that I did want. So the Humble Bundles it's gotten down to the point where it's working about half the time for me, and then half the games are not working. And this was a specific bundle too. A lot of them though I look at and I'm like, well, I've got all of these. It doesn't even make sense. Like, I don't have any interest in buying a bundle and getting a bunch of Steam codes just to give away. That's not what my channel should be, in my opinion. Giving away things just brings in people who want to get giveaways, and that's not what I want to do. If I am going to give away Steam codes, which there's still a possibility in Christmas, I just totally forget about it or don't do it for some reason. But I want to reward people that are actually watching my channel, not bring in people who just want to win something. People who frankly would be me. Like, I do that, or I've started to run out of time to do that, but I certainly follow people on Twitter just because they do contests and stuff, and that makes me a very bad audience because I mute them on Twitter as soon as their contest is done, usually. So, and I realize that, and I know that's I'm not going to build my audience that way. My audience is kind of growing. I said that it seemed like a small bump. Now that I'm a couple more weeks later, like I think it's possibly 2 weeks now since Night Attack shout out, I feel like I did start to see a slightly bigger bump. Not a huge bump though. I never got an email from Google, YouTube, saying your views went way up on this video, or you got a lot of subscribers. And that's something I have seen personally when I do some Hearthstone things that didn't happen yet. I am, however, seeing all the metrics go up a little bit. The watch time on average has, over the past 6 months at least, gone from 2.5 minutes on average to 4 minutes on average, which is not really great considering my videos are by default at least 30 minutes long. But then the way it works on YouTube is people click on the link, they misclick on things, they click on things. There's bots probably also doing some weirdness there. So
here we go.
There's a bunch of different factors, I imagine, that it can easily explain why people would just watch a video for a second and leave, and then you have to average that 1 second of watch time versus somebody who watched 30 minutes. And it's 1 second or 1 minute average. Let's just say somebody watched it for 1 minute and then left, because that's an easier math. Average to 30 minutes, that is 31 divided by 2, which would be 15.5 minutes of watch time. 2 people clicking and watching for 1 minute turns that 15.5 down to 7 minutes and 3/4 of a minute. 7 minutes and 3/4, which then one more brings it right down to 4. So there's, if I was just to roughly estimate, for every person that watches all 30 minutes of a video, there's probably, based on my estimates, 3 people that click on my video and watch it for 1 minute. That's about a rough estimate, which isn't too bad, really. Like, I'm just a person standing on a soapbox shouting, And if I was actually in the real world doing that, way more than 3 out of 4 people would walk on by and not listen to me at all. So I'm not really upset with that. There is a slight decrease in revenue that seems to just kind of happen. I'm not sure if there's a real reason for it or anything. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and
Here
attack.
we go.
This is gonna suck if I lose. Job done. But I am gonna lose. Darn it. Unless he messes up. I needed one more card to do some extra damage. So yeah, dislikes are up. Not really even upset about that. Likes are up, dislikes are up, shares are up, watch time is up, number of subscribers is up. I'd like to see the ball roll forward, and it seems like that is what's slowly happening. I'd really love to see it avalanche though. There's certainly a point to that. Like if I went from, I think I'm up to 145 subscribers. If it just started avalanching to 1,000, 10,000, and then plateaued and just stayed there, I would be more than satisfied. Remember, all I really need is enough subscribers to turn this into a real business that could pay just a poverty wage. Like, I'm not trying to be PewDiePie here. I'm not trying to get 53 million subscribers. I'm not trying to get millions of dollars. It would be nice, certainly, and I would not reject it if it was offered. But well, I very well might reject it if it's offered. If it comes with working with people that I don't trust or don't want to work with. Of course, for me in particular, that might be anybody. I just very much don't want to work for other people, and so I work with people, but I don't want to work for people. Unless, I mean, it would take years before I trusted somebody to give them the authority to be the boss over me. Like, and they would have to put some major effort in and do something that I don't feel I could do myself. Alright, just gonna go ahead and kill that guy. So yeah, a small bump on Night Attack. It's kind of disconcerting because it either Night Attack's just kind of in a slump right now, or it's just smaller than I thought it was. And I get this kind of feeling that it's actually just smaller than I thought it was. And that they kind of just build up their audience as this huge thing. It's also probably reassuring on the point, because if Night Attack really only has like 1,000 patrons that are paying the bills, is what I think they said, that's reassuring, because that means that I too could do something like that and actually survive off of that level of viewership. That's nice, and when you look at Night Attack in particular, you've got at least 3 or 4 people working on that podcast. I'll stop talking about Night Attack though. Still very happy what they did, and if I didn't bring in more viewers, it was probably because I was boring. That's really what it comes down to. Let's see. just end that. I have very, very little to talk about right now, though. Very, very little. So, what else is going on my channel before I even look at my boogie board, which I don't know why I constantly am referencing the boogie board. But I think it's just a fun thing to say, boogie board. I've got to do something. I've really got to do something here. I finished playing Darksiders. Very much enjoyed playing Darksiders War Master Edition. Turns out the original version of Darksiders, I went back and played it. It might run a little bit smoother, but it then doesn't play any of the videos at all. That they are just completely not skipped, which drastically changes that first hour of gameplay in Darksiders, because almost 30 minutes of the first hour of gameplay is watching videos and getting backstory and explaining what happens here. If all the video elements, which are the just a few actually, but most of them are at the very beginning, if you skip all of that, there's literally like one sentence said, and that's it. It says war is here, and that's just a character that says that, and everything else is am I holding a dragon? Nope.
So many options.
Let's do this. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this.
Here we
go. So you have like no idea what is going on in the intro if you play the original Darksiders. But since there are achievements in it, it seems kind of strange that the video player is broken, but Steam achievements will still work. The install process also on the original Darksiders is a little bit messier than what you're used to on Steam. It doesn't automate everything. It pops up a box and installs something. I had a bit of a scare. Somebody was on Reddit, which Reddit itself has changed the way they front page things. And so now if you're not logged into Reddit, instead of going to r/front page or r/all, you're now going to r/popular, which is kind of just a filtering system to, like, subreddits could have always excluded themselves from r/all. Anything that excludes itself from r/all also excludes itself from r/popular, just by the way they've set it up. But also subreddits that people have specifically overwhelmingly blocked or unsubscribed are blocked from r/popular. And I am sorry about getting political here, and I've heard other things. Like I was listening to the Beastcast just a day ago, and they were getting political about the whole PewDiePie thing and towing the CBS line, which frankly it's destroying my enjoyment from listening to the Bombcast and the Beastcast, knowing that they're owned by CBS and that they are either choosing to or being told to parrot the party line, or maybe it has nothing to do with CBS, and maybe they've just fallen into being so liberal that they've lost their objectivity and can't look at things the way I believe they really are. But it's not fun when the Beastcast is getting somewhat political and stating things that I feel are completely inaccurate. And I'm sure in my previous rant about PewDiePie and the Wall Street Journal, that's a similar issue. It's like a lot of people probably listen to that and weren't having fun, and a lot of people were probably listening to it and disagreeing completely. So, sorry about that. I'm gonna do it again. This is my blog series. That's why I run this series. But I can certainly feel people's frustration and understand it. And what was I gonna say? What started me on this conversation? Yes, the subreddit on r popular that is most unsubscribed, a little unsurprisingly, is r/the Donald, which is a mixture of people who are trolling an extreme amount of just unquestioning support for Donald Trump and people who actually do support Donald Trump, and it's a mix there, as best as I can figure.
They'll never know what.
And so, what r/popular really is just them taking r the Donald off of the list. But oddly, it has added quite a few new things to the popular feed, and the way I browse the front page is through an RSS feed, and so it's changed that RSS feed now, and I'm seeing posts from things that I do not care to see, and I don't know if it's gonna fix itself in a few in a short amount of time, or if this is just the future from now on.
Here we go.
And
This
I'll
one's mine.
have to get rid of that RSS feed. I have two RSS feeds. I have the default one for Reddit and the one for signed into my account, and the two have a lot of overlap, less overlap now than it used to be, and I was just like to compare and contrast those things.
Here we go.
Let's see. How much would this cost? Return at summit again, do a charge and attack. Maybe I'll win here. Excuse me. That one came without any warning. So, yeah, Reddit has certainly changed things. What got me on the Reddit, though? That's a good question. This... This.
Want a deal?
This. And when I destroy this, it will do 1 damage to everything, so I'm gonna go ahead and just kill this one. And in the turn... I'm looking at my list, trying to think about what to talk about. We're going a little bit long. I guess we're going to get 2 recordings here, just because it's going to require that much to do it. Now, normally, if I really cared about the Hearthstone deck tracker, which I don't, it's nice when it runs, but if it's going to crash, forget it. I would try to restart it and try to see if it works again, but it probably needs an update. Steam Hearthstone probably updated something. It has started to get crashier, particularly in arena runs. And who's to say if it was doing anything accurate anyways? I don't pay any real attention to it. It's just there. It's just there because it can be there, and it helps.
No. Trust me.
Restore 4 health to both players. This.
Hurry up, portal.
this.
Stand ready.
It's
And
a deal.
that.
Here we go.
That. And then return. Yep, but very much enjoyed Darksiders. I made a definite mental mistakes there. It just happening all inside my head because I was remembering events that occurred in Darksiders 2 and thinking to myself, where is this sequence? Like, when do we get to that part in the story? And it just never happened. The ending is a little bit rushed. The story could use a rewrite. But for Visual Games' first effort, 7 years ago when Visual Games existed, it really was an amazing effort, and it does do a lot better of a job than Ocarina of Time, and it's much more playable and looks way better. It looks great 7 years later on War Master Edition. The original version of Darksiders does run at 1080p, but it doesn't have as many visual effects, plus it doesn't play the videos, so I would really say if you're going to turn into a great lover of Darksiders, you would have to play it in War Master Edition with the graphics as high as you can get it, and then play it on easy to get all the achievements and the abysmal armor. Then skip over to apocalyptic the hard difficulty to get the achievement for beating the game both on normal and apocalyptic, and just skip normal. If you play it on normal, you won't get enough souls to unlock all the things. There is no new game plus element in Darksiders, and that was a little bit disappointing. But you do get the abysmal armor, which definitely reduces the amount of damage you take. So, but then that's 2 playthroughs on the War Master Edition, and then I'd say if you're really gonna love Darksiders, go back and do the same thing on the original version for the same achievements, and see, then you're just kind of wasting your time to do achievements. I played it on normal, and it did get the achievement for easy, but I didn't have enough souls to unlock everything, so I'd still have to go back and play it on easy to unlock all the unlockables. We've done horribly in this arena with a win ratio of 0. This is the lowest possible reward tier. You get 2 things. It was 150 gold. Are we going to get 150 gold back equivalent? Well, a pack is worth 100. And 25 dust is probably not worth 50, but maybe? It's hard to figure out the equivalence there. Got some things changing with Hearthstone, so we'll talk about that in the next recording too. So this is the Goblins versus Gnomes. In fact, what's changing in Hearthstone, just to tease, is going to probably heavily cost me to rethink how I've been playing Hearthstone and how I've been trying to get the cards. Because things are going to change. So all 5 of those cards were duplicate. All that gets turned into 40 dust. So 40 dust is roughly worth 25 dust. Well, 40 dust is roughly worth 100 gold. So cut 40 in half, you got 20. So 25 dust actually is worth more than 150. A card pack and 25 dust is actually worth more than 150 arena coins. So I actually profited on that. Even with a 0 victory, I profited by a small amount. That is very strange. We still need to get 3 victories with the rogue though. And we need to play a bunch of Battlecry things, and we're not going to do another arena run. So next recording, we'll try to speed through this. And I didn't actually even cover any of my discussion topics too. So I found a way to just kind of rant and stretch it out. I'm amazed I did that. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.